Yo, what is up guys? It's your boy Jarr back here with GPC Season 6 Week 1. I am hype, and this time we are going up against Drew aka LittleBigness. Now, I'm a little pissed off right now. Let Papa Jarr tell you story time. I've tried to record this thing 3 separate times, and apparently there's some setting on Discord that doesn't work with the blue snowball mic and Camtasia at the same time. It would just put my audio at the bottom. It would mute me basically after the first 10 seconds of talking. But after a little bit of critical thinking skill and trying to figure it out for myself, I was able to come up with a way I can keep Discord open and record, so that was annoying. I tried to record this and the battle twice, this 3 times. I actually smartened up and checked this before going to record the battle a 3rd time, but I finally have figured it out, so hopefully we can get this done and I can get this up. But you're not here to hear me ramble about my Discord and Camtasia issues. You are here to watch GPC, so let's get into the action. You know our team. I'm going to flash over to my notepad so I can show you Drew's team. Drew is packing Lander Asai, Hydreigon, Toxapex, Fortress, Azelf, Emboar, Mega Manectric, Braviary, Dusknoir, and Cradilly. So, I just want to say flat out, because I'm going to bitch a lot in every single video, so, I'm gonna bitch everything time something little goes wrong, because that's the kind of person I am. I'm a bitchy person. So, I'll say this. I don't want to discredit anything my opponents do, Drew included, or anyone I'll play in the future when I'm being bitchy. I promise it will happen in wins or losses, so it will not give it away. I maybe won this week, who knows? But we are going up against Drew, and oh my gosh, Drew's team has a very, very good matchup versus mine. I have a few things here and there, but I think Drew's team overall has a better matchup. I mean, here's the thing. He has Emboar, which has the capability to literally OHKO every single one of my walls, 2-hit KO Donphan, close to OHKOing actually, so that's a pain. And the problem is my team is built around bringing 3 to 4 walls a game, alright? It's just how it is. I need my walls. I'm a stall player, so not being able to bring my... I'm still going to bring walls. I mean, you can see I obviously have at least 3 walls this week, but not being able to do it and just not get 2-hit KO'd without any extra prep needed, just throw a Life Orb or Choice Band on Emboar and click Flare Blitz. It's tough. It really is. He can Wild Charge my Jellicent, Flare Blitz my Celesteela, Superpower my Chansey and Flare Blitz, or Superpower both very, very much 2-hit KO Donphan. So it makes it really tough for my team to build, but we do have a few edges on Drew as well. But let's just get into the team, and the first mon we're bringing is Donphan. Leftover, Sturdy, Knockoff, EQ, Ice Shard, Roar. Now, the reason I'm not running a defensive Donphan, you know, because like, Jarr, if you're gonna bitch about not being able to switch into Emboar, run defensive Donphan. Hey, smart prick who sounds a lot like me for some reason. Donphan, even if its max defense is 2-hit KO'd by Life Orb Emboar, and I can't outspeed it. So, we're running max attack Adamant because a few things. EQ spam plus ice move, basically ground plus ice coverage, is great versus Drew's team. It basically tears his team apart. Hydreigon and Landorus are his only 2 ground immunities, and Ice Shard hits, Ice Coverage hits both of them super effectively, and coming from a base 120 attack Adamant, Donphan actually could put in some offensive work this week. I'm running Knock just to get rid of some items, and I'm running Roar for... Basically, I sat down to start prepping, and I was just looking, I'm like, alright, the first thing I have to do every week is think what can take advantage of Chansey, because it's likely my opponents will bring the one thing that can take advantage of Chansey. And what I saw for Drew was the Bulk Up Braviary set. It's one of the best things potentially at taking advantage of Chansey. It can sub up, and Seismic Toss can't break, and it can bulk up all day long, and pretty much 2-hit KO my entire team from there. So I was forced to bring Roar. I wanted Rapid Spin, but I just thought, you know, Roar is just a little bit better. So I'm going with Roar just because I can take a hit, roar him out. And yeah, that's it. This thing is here to take an Emboar hit. It's basically another huge reason here is just don't let Manectric click Volt Switch. I have Chansey, which beats Manectric 1v1 every single day of the week, so I'm not too scared of it, so I don't need to bring a Spadef Donphan. But at the same time, I really needed Roar, so I couldn't bring AV, and I really needed a ground type just so it can't keep getting momentum, because if at any point he Volt Switches off my Chansey into Emboar, I lose a Mon. So I have to bring Donphan. Next up, I am bringing that boy, the Captain, Kyurem Black. We're rocking Expert Belt with Terravolt, Hidden Power Fire, Substitute, Ice Beam, Earth Power. We're going Modest this week, strictly because this set, like I said, ground plus ice coverage does work to Drew's team, so why not pack it on as many mons as possible? And Kyurem is another example. I'm packing HP Fire for Fortress, which is basically his only mon that isn't hit very, very hard by the combination of ice and ground. So substitute. All I have to do versus Drew with Curum is pick the right move. Sub will help me do that. I have the Spadef investment because most of his mons I want to take a hit from potentially are special attackers like Landorus. Speed is speed creeping a Braviary. I'm scared of Braviary. I can't risk that thing outspeeding my Curum. Running Terravolt because it's its only ability. Obviously, Jarr, shut the fuck up. We don't need to hear the obvious. Fine, random viewer. Alright. That's Curum, pretty standard, but if you want to see standard, just look at the next mon. Chansey, it's got one set. It's going to be Wish Protect this week with S-Toss and Stealth Rock, Max Defense, Max HP, a Violite. I know, shocking Chansey set, new meta. Alright, moving on. Celesteela, gotta complete the discount Scar and Bliss core, so you gotta rock that Celesteela. Leftovers, Beast, Boost, Flamethrower, Leech Seed, Protect, Earthquake. Earthquake, again, good versus Drew. Pack it on as many mons as possible, why not? Leech Seed to get my health back. This is my dedicated Landorus eye switching, but what I'm expecting is a Gravity Landorus incarnate. I saw in a prep match, and just if I was building with Drew's team, I would run Gravity Landorus. It deals with Celesteela, and if you rock Superpower, you can get some damage on Chansey. Landorus eye is a little tough to do work versus my team. I think it has to be specifically one of two sets. Either go physical so it can deal with Chansey, or run Gravity so it can better deal with Celesteela. Those are the main two sets I could see him bringing. They make the most sense in my opinion. But yeah, Spadef, take a hit from Manectric, fire off an Earthquake. I decided I didn't really need the speed. I really would like to go mixed with Flamethrower to make sure I have a few more Fortress answers. Because you look at my team, not everything deals with Fortress. Just make sure I have coverage for that thing. You can't under-prep anything. So next up, Galvantula, but this is not Webb's Galvantula. I decided that a special attacking Galvantula with a Choice Scarf would be better for a few reasons. Fast electric types, also very good versus Drew's team from what I can tell. You rock HP Ice on those fast electric types, and once Manectric is Mega Evolved, you just Volt Switch. You Volt Switch if around any which way. Thunder, his team doesn't really have a great electric resist outside of Landorus, especially when you're rocking Bug Buzz for Hydreigon and Manectric, so you just spam. If I can get the right move with this Galvantula, I can 2-hit KO every single mon on his team again. But it's Choice Scarf, so it'll be a little harder to do that than with Curum. This is also kind of a surprise set. If I can catch the Landorus, that would be great. I doubt he expects Choice Scarfed Galvantula, and I'm running enough speed to speed creep that Landorus. So that's what we're rocking. And the last set, this is my heat set of the week. It is a sub SD Mega Beedrill with 88 Spadef, 176 Jolly. I will not be outsped by Mega Manectric with 244 attack. This set always beats Toxapex, basically. I needed a Toxapex answer because Toxapex, I feel, is his Beedrill answer. It's his best Beedrill answer. Fortress will get worn down too easily. I feel like he has to bring Toxapex. I'm running adaptability, obviously, and with the 88 Spadef, Scald will never break my sub. So I can sub up, SD up, drill run, kill it, and get another kill. Basically on anything he brings in, because nothing on his team wants to take a +2 drill run or X Scissor. I promise you that. So, Beedrill, very, very good this week if he brings the Toxapex. If he doesn't, those two moves still do quite a bit of work, but I'm really counting on him bringing Toxapex for the Beedrill to put in a ton of work. So, I think that wraps it up. I think we can go into the battle phase. So I will see you guys there. Welcome to the battle portion of the video, and as you can see, he did not bring Toxapex. No. So my Beedrill set is hindered a little bit. Still puts in work though. I mean, look at his team. X Scissor plus Drill Run isn't bad coverage for this team by any means, but I wish he had brought the Toxapex. Beedrill would have put in so much work. But he brought the Emboar, of course. Why would he not? Fortress, gotta get your best hazard setter versus my team. I understand that. Azelf, we'll see what that thing is. I'd imagine it's mixed with Knockoff to get rid of my Chansey's Violite. But if you look at his team, Chansey doesn't really need its Violite. I mean, the physical attackers are just gonna beat it, and Chansey can wall special attackers without its Violite. So, not too scared of the Azelf. Hydra could be a problem. I don't know what item it is, so we'll see. Mega Manectric, as I said, I have Donphan to prevent Volt Switch, and I have Chansey as the just wall for it, and Landorus Incarnate. So, I'm expecting Gravity Landers, but looking at his team, here was my thought process. I thought, there's no way he leads with Manectric. I have a Donphan, which is one of my only rockers. My only other rocker is Chansey, and I really don't think he wants to lead Manectric versus Chansey. So, let me lead with my Galvantula. If he leads with Landorus, I can catch it turn 1 with an HP Ice and do hella damage. If he leads with Azelf, I can Bug Buzz and 2-hit KO that thing if it's sashed. If he leads Fortress, I'm just going to click Volt Switch out of there into my Celesteela and just start putting in work with Steela, or Curum Black even. That would be even scarier for him. So, I led with Galvantula. Let's see how it works. excuse me, he leads with the Manectric, so all of my thought process is out the window. I don't want to reveal my Scarf. I could stay in and Volt Switch. Don't want to do that. I go into my Donphan as Drew clicks Flamethrower, not Volt Switch. And let me pause and explain myself a little bit. Here was my thought process. If I was Drew, I would think, all right, if I was Drew, I would have predicted Chansey to come in, because if he HP, Chansey is the very, very good middle ground play. And if I was Drew, I would have clicked Volt Switch because I could get my Emboar in if Chansey comes in, get a kill. I didn't really see a point in Drew clicking Flamethrower, because if you want to make the middle ground play, you either double or you Volt Switch or you HPI. So I didn't see the point in clicking Flamethrower, or honestly even HPIs, because Chansey would have been my hard switching if I was trying to beat Manectric. But he catches me trying to get a little momentum, and it works out for him. So that works for Drew. I get a little bit of leftover recovery, and here I'm going to switch out into my Chansey. I mean, it hard walls Manectric every single time, so it's the play. As here, Drew switches out, which led me to believe he didn't have Volt Switch, would explain why he didn't click it versus my Donphan. So that's very interesting. If he does have Volt Switch, I have no idea why he didn't click it there, because no, he should click Volt Switch there if he has it, because he outspeeds Donphan. So yeah, I don't think Drew had Volt Switch. But he brings out his Emboar, which means it's time to sack him on. I choose my Donphan because it already took damage, but now Manectric could be a little bit more of an issue. Volt Turn could be a little bit more of an issue here. Veils to be Life Orb. Yeah, that's all there is. I have to go out into my Kyurem, and I'm like, alright, he got a kill. It's time for my boy Kyurem to get a kill. I've sub up with Kyurem, predicting him to switch out. He has to preserve Emboar. That was very easy prediction. IHP Fire, he reveals to be Akaberry Fortress, as he takes that, not very well still. Jarrboss actually, he doesn't get up his rocks, and I'm like, alright, he's gonna preserve this. He definitely wants his rocks up later. Let me sub back up with Kyurem. So I do that, and now his Hydreigon's in. He outspeeds me, he clicks Flash Cannon, but I just get to click Ice Beam. Down goes Hydreigon. So very, very good play. I was pretty proud of that double sub. But Azelf comes in. I assume this thing's just going to click Dazzling Gleam or something like that. Chansey's my best play. Like I said, my Violet wasn't too important. If this thing was packing knockoff, I could still beat most of special attackers. There's the knockoff, as I decide my rocks are of utmost priority. Now, here he's going to go into his Fortress, as I just click Seismic Toss. And now, my best play right here would have been to click Seismic Toss again. I should not. This was a lapse in judgment, not necessarily a misplay, not even a lapse in judgment, a lapse in knowledge. I thought Fortress outsped Chansey. I really did, but Chansey, I should have looked. I shouldn't have just assumed. Chansey outspeeds Fortress by 10 points. I'm base 60, he's base 50. So I was like, alright, he's gonna outspeed me, get his rocks up anyway. Let me wish, get my health back. But I outspeed him, and then he gets his rocks up, which hurts, as I am able to Seismic Toss and kill it now. But those rocks are actually going to be very, very crucial for Drew, as you'll see in a second, as he gets to go out into his Emboar. Every time Amon goes down to one of my walls, he just gets to bring this monster back in and get a kill. I sack Chansey because I don't have a switch and I need everything else a little bit more, I thought. But maybe preserving Chansey going into Steela was the right play. I go out into my Kyurem here, and I think, he's got this. This is his Celesteela answer at this point. He's gonna preserve it. I'm gonna sub up with my Kyurem, and he goes out into Azelf. I'm like, I really hope Ice Beam can pick this thing off. He Psychics. Ice Beam does not pick off the Azelf, so Kyurem does not pick up its second kill, and I will go down to a Psychic, but it's not looking too bad. I go out into my Beedrill here, and I am just going to Mega Evolve and click X Scissor, so Beedrill is going to pick up its first kill of the year. So there we go. Beedrill, good work. So he goes out into his Landorus here, and I'm going to switch out into my Celesteela. I wanted to predict Gravity or something there, but he actually goes for U-turn, which was really weird for me, and this is where the rocks are absolutely just heartbreakingly crucial. I go for a Protect because I think my thought process is I have to kill this Emboar, do its Recoil and its Life Orb. Otherwise, I have no chance of winning. But the rocks doesn't let me get to 100, and he lives on 1. If I was at 100 there because I didn't let him get rocks up, I had Seismic Tossed with the Chansey, I could have killed this Emboar right here, and it would have came down to a 50-50 to whether or not I won this game, not just he's gonna beat me. Because at this point, I can go into Beedrill, but Beedrill can't touch Landorus because I'm the sub SD set. I can click X's or kill that thing. But obviously, he's just gonna go out into Landorus. I couldn't touch this thing even if it wasn't Scarf, which you'll see here, it turns out to be Scarf. Not sure about that prep personally, but it works out for Drew here as he picks me off. It would have picked me off anyway, but I do get to go out into Galvantula and click HP Ice. But letting Drew get those rocks up cost me my. I'll let the game finish. I'll bitch and moan afterwards. But yeah, as you can see, I'm locked into HP Ice. Drew gets just come in with his Manectric. He's gonna click Flamethrower as I HP Ice him. Only 21%. Beautiful Galvantula as he flamethrowers and I die, and that is a 1-0 victory for Drew. Now, like I was saying, letting Fortress get those rocks up cost me my chance at winning the game, because if it's a double down on that Embor Flare Blitz, because I have that extra 4% health on my Celesteela, and that little bit was the little bit his Embor needed to die, it's a double down. And if I was him, I go into Landorus every time, because you're scarfed, you know you outspeed and basically get a kill and can clean up the game. But if that double down had happened, I would have went out into Galvantula, because it's my fastest mon. I know it outspeeds everything on the field, and I would have caught his Landorus. If Drew had done this is all theoretical. This was the 50-50. The 50-50 was who went out into what. If he went out into Manectric as I went out into Beedrill, I had the game. If he went out into Landorus as I went out into Galvantula, I had the game. If it was vice versa in any of the situations, Drew had the game. But I didn't even get that chance because of letting those rocks get up. Because if he goes Landorus as I go Galvantula, then he tries to stay in and kill me because he thinks he's faster. I HP Ice and kill him. His Manectric has to come in, get its Intimidate off on Galvantula, and Drill Run picks him off from there. If he goes into Manectric as I go into Beedrill, even after that damage, even after the Intimidate, Drill Run still picks him off from that range. As he goes out into Landorus, Drill Run would have put him in HP Ice range, even at -1, and I just get to go out into Galvantula at that point, click HP Ice twice, and win the game. So I realize that's still a 50-50 on what Drew went out into afterwards, but that little lapse in judgment, that's how close these games in the GPC and in all the leagues I'm going to be in are, because the leagues I'm going to be in are very competitive. That's how close these games are. One little lapse in judgment and knowledge, and you find yourself losing the 50-50 chance you had to win the game. That's how big these games are. Now, Drew played an excellent game. Like I said at the beginning, I'm gonna bitch. I'm a bitchy person. Drew played a fine game. I just know I could have potentially won this game if I had played it right. I would have Seismic Tossed if I knew I would have outsped Fortress. I just honestly thought Fortress outsped Chansey, but that is on me. So Drew wins because of either the 50-50 and my lapse in judgment. In this case, it was my lapse in judgment, and he wins. He does. Drew, good job. Don't want to take anything away from you. You prepped and played very, very well. But that's fine, boys. I know I can win with this team. After I saw how I was playing with my offense, I was comfortable with this. I was comfortable with my wall core. I was just comfortable with this team. So I know I can win with this team. I know this team, not every team will have an Embor, and I can switch into things. And if I can play this well versus a team with the one Mon that can destroy my entire team, I know I can beat teams that I can use my walls against effectively. So boys, I'm not too worried. Don't worry, your Toronto Staraptors only suffered a 1-0 loss, and I know we can bounce back in this. But until then, boys, this is Jarr signing off. I will see you guys later, and I hope you tune in till week 2. I'm out for now. Later.